Okay, so we're here to have a look at Instagram today. Now, I don't know if any of you are already using it. I don't know if any of you know it or understand it very well. So this was actually a beginner's training that I went to on Thursday, but she actually covered quite a lot of content in it. Now, why Instagram can work for you? Instagram is obviously similar to Facebook, but it's also very different. Facebook we are primarily using for selling our products in retail, and it's working exceptionally well. Instagram, you're going to be more for building your brand on Instagram. These 4 things, you know, trust, passion, communicate and share. Basically, you're building up trust with people, with your followers on Instagram. They're either going to like you or they're not going to like you. If you're passionate about what you're posting, you know, that can be either your Instagram content, whether it's work from home adverts, whether it's products, whether it's just general lifestyle posts, communicating with people and sharing posts is all about building up a community really on Instagram. I have to say it is a much more positive place than Facebook can sometimes be, because you've always got your negatives on Facebook that are so quick to comment on your post and go, aye, right, you know, go and get a proper job or whatever, things like that. Certainly much more positive. Now, you want to choose your content carefully, because you're telling your brand story and it's a visual platform, so first impressions, they do count. And quality content as well to build your trust and your relationships with people. I don't feel you have to be concerned on Instagram about people following you that you don't know, because you're not putting
any private.
You're not putting anything private or personal. What you put on there is what you choose to share. It's not, to me, it's not as traceable as Facebook, if you like, how people can kind of look back through things or see, oh, you're friends with so and so, and kind of make assumptions or work things out. So again, you know, as I say, it's a very positive place, and the buzzword, the Instagram buzzword that they have for 2019 is authenticity. So they want people to be authentic, so be yourself, let your personality come over with what content that you post. Use it to communicate with others, so always like comments on your posts and always try and reply to them if you can, which can be hard sometimes when you don't really know who the person is, but even just thanks for your comment, or good to hear from you, just a general, you know, reply like that is good enough. Now, a lot of people make the assumption that they have to have millions of followers on Instagram, and actually the engagement in your posts is worth a lot more value to you than the amount of followers that you have. And they actually recommend that you have 70%, you follow 70% of the followers that you have. So your following should be less than the number of people's following you. If you go in and just accumulate and start following all these random accounts and your follower numbers is higher, and by that I mean greatly higher, a lot of people can view that as a kind of, no spam, but kind of like, you're just there for the numbers sort of thing, rather than the content. And always add your location to posts, because it apparently increases your visibility, and that was something I didn't know. I'd never added a location to any of my posts.
I wonder if that's the same Facebook.
Yeah. Now, the thing about adding your location is you can be quite clever with it, and you don't have to add exactly where you are. If you don't want people to know, like if I don't want anybody to know I live in Dunbar, I could choose to just add East Lothian in general, or Edinburgh, or you can even just put Scotland, you know. You don't have to be so specific. So, how to post. You want to choose a really clear, good quality picture. Certainly not a blurry image at all. You want to edit the picture either within Instagram or using a phone app. Now, one of the apps that was mentioned was called Preview, which is the symbol for preview is just a little grid with multicoloured squares. If you look it up on the App Store, it's a great app for beginners. I was shown it on Thursday. I haven't actually really had time to look into it myself properly, but it lets you not only edit your pictures, it also lets you schedule posts for Instagram as well, which I thought was really quite clever. The location. So
that's an app, Louise?
Yeah, Preview.
App.
Yeah.
Preview.
Preview. Preview. Now, it's also recommended that you tag people in a post, which again is something I never really did. I used plenty of hashtags, but I never used to sort of tag other accounts. And you can tag up to 20 accounts within a post. Never use a hashtag within your written post content. You always use your hashtags at the end. And they recommend that you use the full 30 if you can, 30 hashtags. It's quite hard actually, now that I'm sitting counting them when I'm putting them out. The more hashtags you use, the better the visibility and the reach of your posts.
And you're not using the hashtags in the post, you're using them in the comments.
Or at the end.
Every single picture you're putting on.
Yeah. If you put up a picture, like if I put one up and I'm doing the beach with a dog, which is what I tend to do, this kind of nice view picture. If you just put a picture up and go lovely morning walk with the dog, you're not really going to get any reach of that. The only people that are actually going to see that is anybody that is actually following you at that precise time, like your friends on Facebook, so to speak. But if you put hashtags in, such as, like if I did that, if I put a dog walk down the beach, I would put hashtag East Lothian, hashtag East Lothian Life, because I know all the kind of local.
Hashtag dog walk.
Yeah, hashtag East Lothian dog walks, because I'm hashtagging a specific area as well, and people will look up these hashtags. People that are interested, either in East Lothian as a community or for a dog walk, for a specific idea. You could also use hashtag dogs of Instagram, hashtag Cocker Spaniel.
Hashtag babysit. Hashtag income opportunity.
What you've got to watch for your hashtags though, don't make them too small and don't make them too long.
With income opportunity, earning extra income, would be accepted.
Lifestyle.
Yeah, but also when you, this will be covered later on actually, but when you go to create a hashtag, when you start typing in a word, it will bring you up a wee drop-down box of what it thinks you're wanting to say, and it has beside it the number of times that hashtag's been used.
Right.
Now, what you want to try and do is use popular hashtags, because you're going to get more visibility and you're going to ultimately get more followers.
That's right. And
the number you're aiming for is actually between 10,000 to 900,000. You want to use a hashtag that has been used between 10,000 times.
How do you find that? The popular.
That's what I just said, but you know, listening. When you put in a hashtag, when you start writing the word, like if I was writing East Lothian, so if I wrote East, it'll come up with a wee drop-down box that'll give you all these hashtags. I'm quite
like the one with the biggest audience.
Which is the opposite from this.
Yes, which is the opposite, that's right. And I've always been, as Kate knows, I've always been quite good at just create my own. And they're funny, yeah? It's a bit of fun, right? And I still would do that. I wouldn't stop that, but that's not going to have the same reach, because nobody knows that hashtag yet, kind of thing.
Can you do more than one hashtag?
You want to do up to 30.
No, I meant on the one post, sorry.
Yes, up to 30.
On the one post, so people comment.
I'll show you, right? Just.
Not the hell, man.
So, right, here we've got a sample of your Instagram landing page. Okay. Now, this is me, obviously. Now, I've had to just change my name because I was just Louise. I was just Louise 20 because it was just a personal account. But now I've got to brand it the same as my business. So, I wanted to use Louise's Little Luxuries, and I couldn't because somebody else has already got it. And believe it or not, it's a page of adult content, shall we say. And I thought, oh my God, why me? So I've had to have Louise.
Would you suggest it be the same thing as maybe your income opportunity group? Be the income opportunity?
Yeah, you could do. Depends what you primarily want to use it for,
Okay.
I suppose.
You get two.
You can have as many as you like, really.
Brand name, same as your.
So I just did Louise's Little Luxuries online. Now here you've got your profile picture, so you want a kind of a clear, good picture of yourself. And this bit here tells you how many posts you've done on Instagram, how many followers you've got, and how many you're following. Now this bit here, this is called your bio. And this is actually really, really important. You want to get your bio.
It's the same as
Bio. Alright,
Yeah.
your bio. Right, sorry. Just I couldn't read it.
Alright. You want to get this bit right, basically. Because that's the bit, well, the first 2 lines of that, so they're not going to see the bottom bit when they first go onto your page. It only shows on the first 2 lines. Now I changed this yesterday. I changed to local business because I had shop and retail selected, and I thought I didn't primarily want that because I'm not going to ultimately use it for retailing as such.
Yeah.
Because what they recommend is out of every 9 posts you put on Instagram, only 2 should be products.
I just opened my Instagram and it's you that I see. Just proof that this works, folks. She's the first person I've just seen.
So in here you want to use basically like little bullet points. Emojis if you can to break it up so it doesn't just look like a bundle of text. And an emoji instead of the word is going to save you characters as well because you're only allowed 150 characters or something.
Somebody.
So networker, loves travelling, loves helping others, goal setter, social media lover, coffee addict, because I post a lot of coffee quotes. And then the other 2 that I've used, and I do have permission for using them, was just to give you a variation. Now this one here, the flamingo one, was the lady that did my training on Thursday.
Okay.
So this one is really to try and highlight the difference. That you can see. Now, you are allowed, I took that screenshot before I changed it, you are allowed a link, 1 link only on Instagram, and you're in this bit here.
Link to what, a web or?
Well, as you can see, Michael has his website, Flamingo Fair, she has her website as well. You could do it to a website, you could do it, I've got mine goes to my Facebook group.
Which is what I would be tempted to do.
Or you could do it to your opportunity page.
I wish you could have 2.
You can only get 1, we're spoiling it. I'm getting
Now, I've obviously just recently changed mine after being at her workshop. So, you know, mine's is kind of more the bullet points now, like how hers is. Obviously, there's this and more bit here. I keep going off this camera, but I can't help it. And her page, as you can see, these bits here that come up. Now, I did this highlights the other day. It was actually my daughter showed me how to do that. And if you click on that on my landing page, it just shows you a few posts that I put up that day. I just chose them to be in my highlights. And you can do that with anything. But what you can actually do is she's done there is group your highlights. So you could have one specific for the opportunity where you could have pictures in it of, say, a picture of the progression on the pay plan scale, you know, things like that. You'd have one for products. You could also theme your products. So you could have like bedroom, jewellery. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Quick question, Louise. I don't know if you know the answer to this, but you know, like you know how you're mad about coffee, I'm mad about my dogs. You know, dogs they sell well on Facebook as well. So you could do you think it would be mad to involve like Lola and her pups and get all the people who love chihuahuas and do they events?
Not at all. It would be good.
That's what I was thinking.
Because that's very niche as well. So you're going to attract people that obviously are animal lovers, dog lovers, ultimately even chihuahua lovers. Do you know what I mean?
And promote Lola and the babies at the same time. The YouTube channel.
Okay. Scones, yeah.
Scones.
So
sessions.
So that is your actual what's called your landing page. And that's the first thing that people see. The next thing, right, okay, so we really covered that, I think. But people actually use Instagram as Google for business. That people will now go to Instagram instead of going to Google if they're looking up businesses online.
This is what Chloe was telling me. Your music and everything, Instagram's better.
So obviously your headline, it's got to be something that people are maybe going to actively search for. You get your one link, your bio should be clear, yeah, we've done all that. You can now add a clickable hashtag and or a link to another Instagram account. So you could have another Instagram account just for the opportunity and add that into your bio. Yeah. Okay. Because I've got because my Facebook group name is hashtag Louise's Little Luxuries, I've got that in my bio now as a clickable link.
And do you use that hashtag in all your posts?
Yes. So I've now got that hashtag Louise's Little Luxuries trending on Instagram, and if you actually look it up, you can search it, hashtag Louise's Little Luxuries, actually brings you up every post I've ever used that hashtag in, so you can see all my products.
Excellent.
Any
So
posts that...
Sorry, Louise, can I ask
Okay.
a question? I know we were meant to wait to the end,
I know, but
it seems to have gone. Say the searchability is key. If I want to look for something, do I put in earn and find something that way? Do I put in, or do we set?
Yeah, I mean, I've not actually explored that myself yet to see how well that would work. I would think you could put in like work from home, for example, right, and that would probably bring you up because every sort of sponsoring post or just lifestyle post even that I've put out, I always use work from home, hashtag work from home, hashtag extra income, things like that. I think it's just one of these things to play about with the searches and see what comes up. Obviously, you will get the odd random thing as well. So the next thing that people see, which you could see for the previous slide, was just at the bottom. It's called the 9 grid. Now, the reason it's called the 9 grid, because it goes on and on and on, because it's every post you've ever put on Instagram. But when somebody looks at their Instagram to see if maybe you're somebody they want to follow or what kind of person you are, they specifically say that they won't spend any longer than 2 to 3 seconds looking at it, and the furthest down that they'll get is 9. Right, it's this 9 grid. So ultimately, what you want to capture in there should be attractive, should be positive, welcoming. Do you know what I mean? How you want to portray yourself.
So
obviously,
you can set that 9 grid yourself. It's not. It won't slide down as you add more content.
No, it will. It's constantly moving. That's the thing. Now, the 2 that I've used here are quite actually, well, similar, but they're quite imbalanced as to how they should be, because it's obviously your most recent posts. A lot of quotes. I've always got a scenic one because I'm always out with the dog and stuff. Basically, this is obviously a much more kind of business look, balanced look. If you scroll further down, this Flamingo Social one, who was, as I say, she was a consultant that did the training, it actually gets better, because she was doing this at the workshop the other day just as an example to show us. And I have to say, I've got to be honest, to me that's a bit boring.
Boring to me.
To me, that's a bit boring, because I would look at them and I wouldn't automatically know what they were.
Yeah, I didn't like them either.
I only see like one of her. Now, I mean, she said that she's no good at putting herself out there, and you didn't have to have selfies. But if you post like lifestyle pictures, whether it be a picture if you're out for afternoon tea, or a scenic picture if you're out with the dog, a quote, whatever, to me that captures more of your personality as well. And obviously the content of your quotes as well give people a little insight as to who you are, what's important to you. Yeah, exactly, what you like.
How many posts would you recommend a day?
Maximum of 3.
And is there maximum? And is there any restrictions on this? The maximum of 3?
No.
But why would it be a maximum of 3?
They said a maximum of 3 because if you post more than 3, you're kind of deemed as spamming.
Right, that's it. Right.
And some people might unfollow you.
Can I ask, to go back to what you were talking about, you were saying that people only get 2 to 3 seconds to view your line grid.
Yeah.
But is that if you're a follower, do you get longer?
It's not that you only get that, it's they will only spend that amount of time looking at somebody.
Right. Okay.
You see?
Okay.
I mean, you could spend all day if you liked, if you really wanted to see. I'll try and get it up, yeah. I mean, if you really wanted to see somebody, I don't know how well you can see it, and you're scrolling down, you could keep going.
Right.
And you'll see things that'll just jump out at you. You might not read it fully, but you'll see pictures, quotes, whatever that'll jump out at you. But what they're saying is, obviously, because everybody these days is always rushing here, there, and everywhere, people will scroll down, and technically what grabs their attention is that 9 grid.
So what they do is they click on your profile to see the 9 grid.
Mm-hmm. That's right. That's right. So the other thing that she recommended you do, and I don't know if I would actually say to people to do it as they start out, because to be honest, obviously, my Instagram isn't like that, and it's not done me any harm. I've always got followers, built followers very naturally, I feel. And I've always got followers more or less after every single post. I mean, I put out a post, I think I said to you on the phone, I put out a post that morning before I went to the course, and it was a scenic one, East Lothian one, and I had 43 new followers by the time I'd driven the half hour to the course. Now that's purely just on the hashtag and the content used. But what she was suggesting was, when you brand yourself, and if you have quotes that you like, you basically want to make them your own, so you shouldn't be really taking Google stock pictures and sharing them. You choose your colours, 2 colours really that you want to work with, and you create like the quotes and stuff yourself, and you can obviously brand it at the bottom if you wanted, with a wee logo or a wee, your business name, whatever. But to me, I think when you're just starting out, that's an awful lot of extra work to expect somebody to do. It might put them off even going onto Instagram, thinking I can't be bothered creating all that content for myself. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. If you want to start off kind of the right way, then by all means. But that was just a suggestion.
So all they're doing is creating content rather than a Google thing. So it'd be like opening up, like,
I mean, you could just,
I do it on my PowerPoint, and that's not a big hassle, really.
You can just create it yourself.
Pick
collage, the right words, aye.
Loads of things.
Yeah.
Aye, thanks.
So when to post? Now, this is just a new feature to Instagram. It only shows you the last 2 days worth of posts. So if you've not been on for about a week, you're going to miss a heck of a lot. You're only going to be able to see 2 days worth. And when you scroll down now through Instagram, you get to a point and it actually says you're all caught up, which is basically means you're up to date. Post, as I say, 1 to 3 times a day, and then you can use that app to schedule posts if you want, which is useful when you've got a spare 10 minutes. Sit and schedule them the same as you would do maybe for your Facebook group. And vary your posting times. Now, I'm going to talk more about that actually on the next slide, but the ideal time to post on any social media is 5 o'clock. When people finish their work, apparently they're waiting on the bus home, they're walking to their car, they're waiting on the train. That's when they're more likely to actually stand and scroll through their timeline or their news feed. Obviously, you can tweak the times to suit you. We're not all up and doing things at the same time every day, but people are creatures of habit, and that's where I think that 5 o'clock thing comes in, for the majority of people, kinds of thing. But this is very Instagram specific, these times.
Might be similar with
much different.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, I've always found in my group, night time's the best time. but then I'm a bit of a night hawk.
I was going to say that's maybe when you started.
That's
so you
right.
would attract people that were on at a similar time to you.
I mean, I do post some days, I do post through the day. Although a Sunday morning is a very good time on my group as well, but I would say a lot earlier than that. I tend to schedule my posts because I'm usually in my bed. But for a Sunday morning, especially cleaning stuff and things sells well on a Sunday morning. Yeah, I'm not really going to read that out. You can see there. Saturday, I would actually agree with that. A Saturday night's probably my quietest night of the week in my group.
Thank God though, Helen, we get a night off.
So you can have a night out on a Saturday and not feel guilty. Yeah. Now, your hashtags. Right. Okay. To reach the widest audience and have the maximum reach, you want to use a complete mixture of types of hashtag. So it's like I said earlier, when I put up the scenic dog walking post, I'm going to use hashtags specific to my local area. I'm going to use dog hashtags. I might use generic ones like hashtag views or so you're not just going to post like, I'm not just going to put that up and post just these Lothian hashtags.
Yeah, obviously.
Because obviously it's going to be a niche of people that are going to search that. So as many different kinds if you can. Obviously it doesn't apply to all your posts, because if you were doing an opportunity post, that to me is very specific. You're only trying to target people that are specifically looking for an income opportunity, extra money, and working for home. Yeah. You could put lifestyle.
Parents,
Yes.
Hashtag parents,
Well,
hashtag mums.
I would use hashtag SAHM, stay at home mum. SAHM.
Hashtag
work at home mum.
Yeah. That's if it's a business or a product, but you can also put normal things as well to get other followers, is that right?
You could do lifestyle ones and stuff as well, like financial freedom, do you know what I mean? Time freedom, all these kind of ones.
So your mix of types is really a mix of words.
Yes.
Right, okay. It's a right mix of words. I understand that better, sorry.
Okay. Now you can create groups as well, and this actually would save a lot of time, and it's something that I'm going to be doing this week. Because you tend to be posting, you're going to be posting similar content, because you're going to be posting, say, products, lifestyle, and opportunity, for example. We'll work with those three. You could save your hashtags, and this is where you can do it on this app that I mentioned earlier, that preview, and you can save them into groups of 10 or 30, and then all you need to do is go in and copy and paste them over. So you're not sitting typing in.
Right.
Or if you ask me, I might phone you.
Or if well, I might have done it myself today, so I don't know how it works.
I'm just wanting to get you guys again this night.
So, and to me, see when she said that, I just went, yes. Because I thought, because when she said 30 hashtags, and I thought, crikey, trying to sit and type
your life.
30 hashtags, trying to think of 30 hashtags.
You could just, if that was your products, you could have these.
I know. But if you could save them into groups, that's just going to save you so much time. And when you've got time, you can spend it and research the most popular ones as well, so you know that you're using them within that.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can obviously, she said initially about creating them in groups of 30, and then she said maybe you could do it in 10, and that would be quite good. And I think 10 probably is quite good, because that way you can choose 10 from different group sets, maybe on one post. Do you know what I mean? Because on a lifestyle post, you might still want to post opportunity hashtags, because it's like for me, because obviously I've not got another job. So for me, what I do ultimately gives me the time and the freedom, the lifestyle that I have. Yeah. The size, I mentioned that earlier. Too large, too small. Are they working? Well, you can find that out on each post that you do by clicking on the insights, and it does actually tell you. I was looking at that last night. It tells you how many people have viewed it. Also tells you if people have clicked on, if you've got a popular hashtag, or if people have featured you from that, and we'll come on to that again later. So a bit like how you can go into it on your Facebook group and get your insights for for the week at a time. Now, these kind of groups are obviously the different types of hashtags that they suggest. The location, topical ones, which are kind of like, what the example given was hashtag World Nutella Day, for example.
Hashtag, what's his name, President America. You
And obviously,
you might get a lot of followers with that.
And obviously you're going to have maybe things like hashtag Valentine's Day, hashtag Mother's Day, do you know what I mean? And again, we could use them in your product posts. Your jewellery, hashtag Valentine's Day, you know. Branded hashtags are obviously like business ones that people have actually kind of created and are very, very popular. Community, virtually explains itself. Subject and speed. Subject's just obviously to do with what you're posting. The speed one I'm actually not sure about, and I was looking and I didn't actually have that written in my notes. But that is a suggested.
Speed, it might be like speedboats, speed racing, speed cars.
It could be, because I discovered after I posted my car wash picture the other day, which is the first time I've done that, cars are very popular.
Yes.
Because I got all these new followers and I thought, oh well, you'll end up unfollowing me because I didn't post about cars very often, you know what I mean? But why do we use hashtags? Well, ultimately you use them to grow your account, and you want to do that organically, which I think is really what I've done over the last 3 years, because I haven't used it. It's been set up as it was a personal account. I've now changed it to an actual business account. But I've just been myself on it. I've just posted family pictures, things that I've wanted to post that I've been happy enough to share. Your tagline and the bio, you can use a hashtag there as well. And then your location and your hashtags for, as I say, for ultimate growth to your account. Your targeted hashtags are going to be ones where you target a specific audience, which again, we kind of covered on the opportunity bit, on the dog thing, you know. But obviously with this opportunity, I mean, it can appeal to everybody. So that's something that I think you could do if you were doing a lot of opportunity posts. One day you could choose to target your dog lovers. Another day you might choose travel. Kate might choose scones. Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean? I choose scones. I'm insulted.
Your chance of being discovered is higher the more obviously you use the topical hashtags and the ones that are kind of trending, and use all 30 on every post, and it's actually harder than you think, because since she's told me that, I'm now sitting counting them, and last night I got to 16 and I thought I can't think anymore, and I was getting fearful to myself, and I ended up just posting it. I'm not going to no post it, it's still going to work, because I think that's something you'll have to build up unless you allow time to sit there and search for, you know, commonly used ones.
You've got a bit up the top, you don't need to take that. So.
Yeah, but it's not moving on at all.
Just go back to the computer and use the normal arrow button on the computer that sometimes starts to behave again. It's just a bit temperamental, like its mother.
So finding the right hashtags, use the planning app. There's a hashtag finder tool on it. And again, it's just searching, just be a bit maybe random. Other Instagrammers, look for accounts that you particularly admire, ones that appeal to you, and also ones similar to you as well. Because you're going to get a feel for what they're doing, and if you've got somebody very similar to you posting similar content, and then maybe got a high number of followers, you know that what they're doing is working well for them. Right. So you want to maybe take some popular hashtags that they use. Instagram search, we touched on that earlier, but you can obviously just type in words and search, and then you'll get the wee drop down box with all different options. And just take the time to get to know hashtags, because this is your business, and ultimately this is your key to your online marketing. I think Instagram, and it's free, it's not going to cost you. Do you know, Some people pay a fortune, some businesses may pay a fortune for marketing their business, and you're going to be able to do all this free. So I think especially in the beginning and as time goes on, I think you want to allow that wee bit of spare time every now and again to maybe search more hashtags, because there's more being created all the time, and what's becoming popular and stuff.
It works.
Now, Instagram stories. This is a bit different. I'm not going to go into a huge detail on this because I would be here all day, literally. But there's currently 400 million people use Instagram stories daily. Now, do you all know what an Instagram story is?
No.
Right. When you go onto your Instagram, can you see it on there? These circles at the top is your Instagram stories.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's on Facebook as well.
Yeah,
Right.
but they're a lot more popular on Instagram than they are on Facebook. Instagram stories are getting so much more reach and so much more hits than Facebook and the Instagram feed. The stories are what are capturing people just now. Now, my story comes up first, right, and then the outer sort of red pink circle means you've not looked at that story yet. So once you look at that, it'll go away. It'll stay there, but the circle goes away. So if I click on mine, I did this last night and I did some products. Now I added in, not when I tagged Mrs. Hinge in one of your cleaning products. I'm determined. Put my group name on as well. It changes automatically because you only get 15 seconds on one image or one video.
So is it like a wee slideshow then?
You can put in as many as you want, but each one only lasts for 15 seconds. And as I discovered the other day when I did all those demo videos that I put on my group, I did them all to my story and wondered why I had 3 in the window foam, but it broke it into 15 seconds. It was a 45 second, so it broke it and it just carried on.
And how long does the story stay there for?
24 hours.
Right.
Your story
And then
stays
does
there.
it kind of archive and stay somewhere that it could be found again?
Could be seen in your page.
Your bios.
But what you can do, is that highlighted bit earlier that we spoke about. That bit here, you can add your story to your highlights so it'll stay there longer. Which I wish I'd known before I did that demo one.
Yeah,
because I would have had
there longer.
would have been there longer. I mean, like Mrs. Hinge, for example, just very, very quickly. She has umpteen stories. It's not a good day for her actually, because she's not very well. But I mean, there's Stacey. She puts up ones there, wee one. Do you know what I mean? They're gonna. Yeah, she's got more than one. So like I say, it stays for the 15 seconds. It lets you add, if you're using a still picture, it lets you add emojis. You can add a location to it, which is highly recommended for visibility. You can add a hashtag to it, only one hashtag, one location, and you can only tag one account in it as well. So like, I could do something and tag your account in it. And that would probably ultimately grow your followers as well.
Somebody else's on it.
You know what I mean? So basically it's a creative way of sharing full screen photos and videos. And I have to say actually it works very, very well.
So a prospect says, could I see some of your products, please? You create a story and tag them on it.
Not sure how it would work as an opportunity one, when you're only getting 15 seconds.
If you put it onto your highlights.
But I think,
We'll work it
but
out.
I think you could just show snippets to give people a general
Yeah,
idea.
I'm pretty sure we could do this. The more us that use it, the more will develop. If I'm going right into this when I get in.
And the reason I can say it does work is when I did the demo videos the other night, which was something completely new. I was cleaning the house and it was quite funny. I was doing my one window with my phone just purely so I could take a video. I think I did. I know, I did the stain remover on Cameron's carpet because I noticed the radiator must have leaked and it had that wee rusty orangey stain. And I took it right out, and I did, what else did I do? I did something else. Can't remember. We did about 4 or 5. But anyway, when I uploaded them to my story, they were suddenly seen by so many people so quickly. Within minutes, it was 27 people had watched my story. Because as it goes through, it tells you, if you watch your own story, it tells you at the bottom how many people have seen it. I've seen that one 15-second clip. And you can see sometimes as you go on, it tails off because some people haven't got the time to, or it doesn't interest them, whatever. You could break it up. You don't have to do all products either. You can do a complete mixture. Products, lifestyle, whatever. You could do a day in the life of kind of thing. So yeah, it's going to bring your business to life. It's going to give people an actual glimpse into whatever it is you're showing, the opportunity, the products, your lifestyle. Build your brand very, very quickly by sharing authentic stories. Yeah, you can share other people's stories actually. So you could share somebody that maybe, especially the opportunity, somebody that very big on, say, their personal growth posts, motivational posts, things like that. You know, content that you obviously like and stuff as well. And choose key moments to drive the actions on your account. So technically, like the new catalogue launch, we have the new beauty book, things like Valentine's Day, Mother's Day,
That's right.
obviously Christmas, any sale products, things like that. I mean, it's limitless. It's absolutely limitless.
Just exactly.
So the basics, where, I've told you where, tap the circles at the top. The format, you don't really need to know this, it's just useful if you're editing videos or editing things. The format that Instagram will accept is this vertical 9 to 16. Didn't ask me what it means, because I didn't understand it. But you know how sometimes you get it on Facebook as well, sometimes when you post like, you know, your cover picture has to be a certain format.
So do you think that means like portrait rather than landscape?
Yes, yes. Each story lasts 15 seconds, so post multiples. It disappears after 24 hours unless you highlight it. And if possible, post a location in to improve visibility. The only thing I wasn't sure about the product one, and I never did it with that story, was putting a location in, because I didn't want to limit my products to just that location.
Yeah, but you could put UK in though, presumably.
Yeah, you could. Yeah. Or even just Scotland or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose you could, because if you're doing more than one post, I could put Dunbar, East Lothian in, because that might get me more local customers that way. Edinburgh for a kind of wider, you know. Yeah. Hashtags. Now, this is where it differs from the main feed. So you can only use up to 10. I said one earlier, it was 10 per story. And aim to use all 10 if you can. You can tag up to 10 accounts per story as well. I didn't think that's something you would automatically do right away unless you, I don't know why. I mean, obviously when I tagged Mrs. Hinch, that was very different because she's built her Instagram on cleaning. I'm selling a cleaning product. So by tagging her in it, I don't know how well that means her followers would see that. But she could choose to share it because she's been tagged in it. Yeah. And that's when I think it would work. Swipe up to view the story. Stats, again, that's like what we said earlier, the insights. Tells you if you've been featured. That means if somebody's shared your story. And how to get featured really depends on the hashtags that you use, and some work better than others. And that was where hashtag World Natality of all things.
So would you use hashtags that had actually nothing to do with what you were posting about at all? But like World Natality, but you're doing a post about walking your dog because the people that are searching for World Natality will see you walking your dog and might look at your profile and think that's an interesting person to follow.
You could do that.
Right, so you could be right off the wall with your hashtags. It doesn't need to be thinking of relevant ones that get people completely.
Even things like yesterday, hashtag Brunch Day. Do you know what I mean? And things like that. So yeah, I mean, there's loads of days, random days. You know, you've got even you've got everything. You've even got like diabetic awareness. You've got silly, silly things, and
Yep.
And they're always the ones that are trending most for that specific time.
Yep.
So those specific days, that's when you could actually reach millions of people.
Yes,
not
just
just
a good day to put in
I know.
hashtag Alex Salmon.
Yeah.
Hashtag Alex Salmon.
Now, the Instagram algorithms, which I've recently changed to these 4, and we've really covered that at the beginning. You want to make your account interesting to people. You want it to grab their interest quickly. So you want to post eye-catching, interesting content. Your timeline, obviously, that's a reflection on what you post. It leads to you building relationships with people. I mean, since she said to me that you have to reply to everybody, I had 2 random people, who were both in America actually, who commented on one of my posts yesterday. It was a quote, "Great profile." And I just went, "Thanks, Ken."
Yep.
And the other one said some sort of expression that obviously we didn't use over here, and actually had no clue whether it was good or bad.
So you could just put a smiley face on.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? You can just, and you tap there's a little love heart icon at the side of everybody's comment, and you tap that to like it.
Yep.
As well. And the more you interact with people, obviously that increases your engagement as well and your visibility. And the buzzword, just be yourself. You know, don't try and be Mrs. Hinch or be whoever. Do you know what I mean? Just be you, because as we know, people buy for people.
Brand you.
Do you know what I mean? And I think that's it.
Excellent, Louise. Thanks very much. Just